So all fight week is kind of like I know nothing is gonna be perfect ever when you're traveling, but like usually at home, my fight week I like it to be like super regimented, like really orderly. Fight week here was about as bad as it can get. Like, not sure where you're gonna be. We were in Mexico City for 2 days when the plan was to be here for one, and then we went to Acapulco, got in at a weird time, like didn't get any sleep, didn't get any food. Uh, my weight cut was all thrown off because like it's hard to like water load or weight cut properly when you can't eat and you're taking this long bus ride through the mountains in Mexico from Mexico City to Acapulco. But so that was kind of messed up, and then just kind of weird stuff like people would bang on my door at like 7 in the morning when you went to bed at like midnight, and they knew you went to bed at midnight. They would bang on your door really early and be like, "You need to get up for an interview," and it's like, "What? Like, man, I'm asleep." Like, and so I don't know if that was intentional or not, but just seems a little weird looking back on it. But the 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 last couple days went okay. My coach finally got to Acapulco, and we had some good shakeouts, some good workouts, and then just yeah. I mean, the event itself was again just kind of like interesting. That like I don't want to like sound like I'm bitching too much about it because at the end of the day it was like such a great experience, and I'm glad and I'm grateful that I got to fight on it. But it was just like, could you guys tell us one thing that's going on? Like, we had no communication whatsoever. Like, at one point, I was chilling up in the room, and the guy comes up and he's like, "They're announcing all the fighters. You need to be in the ring." So we literally sprinted from our room, like, down to the ringside area, and then like they brought all the fighters into the ring before the fight and introduced us all. But like I literally like sprinted there, and that was like right before my fight. So, well, not right before my fight since they postponed it again and again and again, and I didn't get in the ring till
Yeah,
after
because you sprinted down
after
there
midnight.
and then you were waiting for another half
Yeah,
hour
yeah.
watching all the dancers and shit.
So, yeah, and there was just they ended up throwing like different things in between all the fights too. Like even like right when I was supposed to go out and fight, then they had this like coach of the year ceremony in the ring that ended up taking about half an hour, and I was standing on deck. Just yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, the fight itself was it was great. Like it was such a cool venue, open air, just like super posh people at tables. Like it was like a private function basically. So really neat scene, and all kinds of crazy stuff like people in big robot suits and fancy DJ and like dancers and all kinds of stuff. So it was like the song and dance of it was pretty crazy. So I definitely felt lucky to be like fighting main event on a card in Mexico with all this craziness going on. But like the fight itself was, yeah, it was a fight uh, like any other. I mean, my opponent super tough. Um, he put on a ton of weight between the weigh-ins and the fight. Like in the fight, he was way bigger than what we weighed in at. But super tough guy. I mean, like I started off pretty good. I was moving well, faking a lot. I dropped him in the first round with a Superman punch. I faked a kick and then hit him with the straight cross, and put him down for an 8 count. And then we kind of had a bit of back and forth towards the end of that round. And then round two, he caught me. He just bombed in with a bunch of heavy shots. And that dude's fists were like lunch boxes. Like he had some big hands, and like when he put them on you, they hurt. So he put me down in the second. I rallied towards the end. The third was pretty back and forth. I thought that I outscored him, especially Muay Thai wise. I landed more body kicks. And then my coach really got to me in the in between the third and fourth round, and he said, "Man, you need to use your movement. You need to use your feints and fakes, and just kick. Just set up your kicks. Just be a southpaw. Just use your straight." So round four, I came out, lots of fakes and feints, really good movement, and I feel like he barely touched me. and I landed a lot of scoring strikes. And then round 5, just more of the same, but even more success because I feel like he had started to fade. He was getting pretty tired, I think, from cutting so much weight. So I definitely took the fight away from him in round 4 and 5. After the fight, it was pretty weird. Like the scorecards took all throughout the night. The scores came up almost immediately because the official just goes around and grabs the scorecards off the judges, and it could be because you're scoring it, and after the round is done, your score is in. So that as soon as the ref comes over, the score is rendered. But there was about 10 minutes between the fight ending and the actual first announcement, and at first they raised his hand, and a bunch of people were like, what, and booed, and like my coach and corner was like, what, like this doesn't really make sense. And then the official went over and the ring announcer went over, and they looked at the scorecards and they determined that they had been tallied up wrong, and they actually showed the scorecards on the screen, and they had circled my name at the bottom, like Scott, the winner, and they showed the scorecards, and a number of things had been visibly changed on them and scratched out and erased and whatever. And so then they took us back to the center of the ring, and they raised my hand. And then there was a bunch of other kerfluffle going on, and then they took my opponent and they raised his hand again. So they at the end of the day, they ended up giving him the win. They gave him the title belt, and all I can say is, like, it just seems really suspect. I really like Mexico. I enjoy it a lot. The people have been super nice. Mexico City is great. Like it's a lot different than I thought it would be. It's super clean. There's great food, lots of stuff to do, lots of nice parks. The only thing I would say that maybe like my fight slightly tinges my opinion is that I almost get the feeling that Mexico maybe in a way it's similar to like Thailand, where at first you think that everyone is super nice and everyone's looking out for you and you're all there together, and it's all for Muay Thai, but like you gotta watch out for yourself, because at the end of the day I think some people are going to do what's in their best interest, and it might not necessarily be in your best interest. Even if this fight didn't pan out the way that I wanted it to, like I still learned so much from that fight. Like I was doing well in the first, I didn't do the right thing in the second, and then I picked it up and I did the right thing and I dominated that guy in the fourth and the fifth. So like that's a huge learning curve and a big learning experience. So I think I can take that and definitely use that, apply that to my next fight. My body's pretty smashed right now, so we'll heal up, we'll enjoy Christmas with the family, and then hopefully get back into it in early 2022. I think one of the main things that I take away from Muay Thai that I can see being applicable to anything else is that you just need to keep showing up for yourself day after day and putting in the work. No matter what it is that you're doing, and no matter whether you're seeing a positive result or not, if you keep showing up day after day and you're trying to get a little bit better, you're trying to get a little bit better every day, day after day, week after week, month after month, over time, like over years, you're going to look back and you're going to realize how far you've come, and you're going to achieve mastery in whatever skill that it is that you've set out to do. With Muay Thai, that's definitely the case. I mean, some days you get in there and you put in a hard session and it may not even feel like you get better, but you keep doing that every day, every week, every month, and it's amazing the places that this sport will take you. It's completely changed my life. It's completely changed my perspective. It's changed the way that I approach learning new things. It's made me appreciate myself. It's made me have confidence. It's just completely changed the person that I am and the way that I see the world. and I love Muay Thai, and I just hope that other people can find the beauty in the sport and see that it's just such an amazing thing. And yeah, I just want the sport to keep growing throughout the world and have more people find the value in it.